Hello, everybody. Seems like we have a bunch of people been waiting for this. It's one of those things that are going like, I hope Wigwag Workshop has been waiting since 9:30 this morning. Uh, Hello there, Trackside Mike. Uh, so, yeah, but basically, yeah, it looks like everyone has been. Hello there, Train Video Productions. Thank you for coming in. Almost had to sort of, I wouldn't say it's a panic, but apparently, hello, Trackside North, Eagle Creek Railroad, uh, Boxcar Jerry should be still here. Same thing with Light from Curly Express. All those thing is, apparently the last thing on chat that Woodward put on there was uh, basically over an hour ago. So I'm assuming he's not here, but he has a tendency to pop back on. So. And the one question that Jerry has chopping at the bit at apparently is, what am I working on tonight? Well, tonight is going to be a departure from what I've been doing. Mainly because things are still discombobulated from when I changed over to fiber armor. So my not not really. I don't want to say not set up for what I've been doing, which is the diorama, but it made more sense since I already have uh, since I already got the layout back on the near on the workbench. Might as well finish that up. I have three switches to add under. I had three controls that have to be connected to the switches, to make that a thing. And basically, I have a very small layout, so I'm able, instead of using switch machines, I decided to go this route. Basically, it's a double pole, double throw switch, um, actuated by the uh, it's a wooden doorknob attached to a MU skewer, and then that is a hole drilled into the double pole double throw switch, which is mounted on blocks of wood, and and basically the idea is to this would be glued onto the bottom of the layout, and this nail here would go up high enough where it would go into the hole into the switch so it can go back and forth. So, and that's what the plan is I only got three left. Which I should have done off screen was to trim these down so when they're pushed in the barrel. So, why do I sound strange? I don't know. Let's put the finger on the side. Okay. I think I was going to see microphone. There's there's 5 different setups, and right now it says 3, and unfortunately I can't change what they say. I'm usually on the snowball. Okay. Well, actually, you're right. I had problems before because what happens is that uh, sometimes the computer resets. Uh, well, actually, well, technically, I got at least two. Uh, One is on the laptop itself, and then I got a USB through Snowball, which is this is what I normally use. However, every now and then something happens where it decides to go to the default, which is the microphone with gray, and then because it's not that good of thing. But normally, when I look at it, it's like it actually says, "Oh, you know, it says blue snowball." It's no longer saying uh, it says W ball, which is not currently on. Let's translate and see what happens.
Okay. Well, it's showing that it's receiving. Also says echo cancellation. Reduce background noise, which is not supported by this browser. Which, since it's me, myself, and I. Hello, Rail Artist. Right now we're going through. I sound better now. All right, so they must have updated something, and yeah, they must have updated something and wound up going back to my default mic, and now I got it set to the correct one. Good thing it said ball on it, because that's the other ones I have. I think they were actually set up through. There was a point where I was trying to use former Android phones as cameras, and well, hello there, Les from Wii USA and Wii US and Cora. I'm not sure how to say that. Sorry, but yeah, I got I guess 2 live mics, and I have some former mics on here where it still shows that they're active even though they're not connected, which is annoying. And there's no way to actually turn around and go, "Hey, can I get rid of this?" or be able to rename this. Same thing with the cameras that I have. I got 3 connected cameras, one from the laptop, which you're seeing from me now, and also, and the thing is that they also don't make it easy to go between the cameras. But this is the overhead camera, and this is the rear side camera, which I might be using a lot tonight, because there's only 2 things I'm planning on tonight. One is a sweat over here now. One is fresh look at the next year's NRA camera, or calendar, I should say, not camera. Now the thing is, I do have better lighting than what you see here. I have 2 very right now. I only have like 2 lights. Now I do have better lighting. Actually, I might actually have to grab a 3rd light. Now the reason why I actually do have better lighting, and that's what I normally use. However, I'll actually turn them on, and I'll show you what goes wrong. So I have better lighting, but as you can see, the cameras don't like it. They wind up interfering stuff and all that, and all of a sudden, now you have this, like this darker section here where it's sort of like in section and all that. So that's why I usually don't use these lights, because it doesn't have that irritating interference. But I do have these are the lights that are camera friendly. I got these from Aldi's. These are lightweight LED daylight lamps. One that I did wind up buying wound up stop working, but I did buy others just in case. But let's see, we'll put that aside. We'll plug it in. Where plug. Ah, there it is. Whoa. One thing about my mic is that I wound up losing its I'm trying to think what it is now. The thing right now I got it on a dowel, and I had a dowel in between something, but now it's not there. And then let's point this away, not into the camera, but as you can see, it is bright, but it is very limited in where it's going. So, all right, let's turn that off because we don't need that right this second. So let's take a quick look at what the calendar is looking like. Probably by next week I'll have things ready to get back to the diorama. And of course, here's the thing saying that, hey, please turn around and do X, Y, and Z. Donations and all that fun stuff. This pretty much, I would have to say, gives a preview of what's being in the calendar. But there's a nice Great Northern setup. You can sort of tell that this was photoshopped in. Things that are being photoshopped is getting harder and harder to actually see if it's painting or not. But there are still things that sort of turn around and do sort of let things know that, hey, it's a model. Like on this Canadian Pacific stuff, you can see the spring on the KD coupler, and how the airlines are extremely large and don't actually connect. But it is getting harder and harder to see what is real and what is fake. It's starting to look like I honestly don't know. Yes, you can see right here where the background wasn't perfectly cutting around the trees. So that's a photo backdrop, and then they added onto there. This one's a nice rapid transit setup. I'm trying to get it so there's not reflections. But I would have to say streetcar or anything that's overhead is a little bit more obvious that it's not the prototype, because usually model stuff is a lot thicker than what the actual ones are. There's times that it's like you can see, you take a photograph of a real streetcar and all that. You see the pole up and all that, but so far away you can't see the wires. So it looks very odd that there's no wires there, but there's wires, because how else is this streetcar going to get there? Especially if you know that they have overhead wires. Okay. Okay, and of course, trying to slowly read this, and we got this one from let's see, this looks like Grand. Yeah, this looks like they just have Grand on here instead of uses like a Rio Grande or something like that. Grand or engines. Yeah, you can tell the types of trees that he used. But I would have to say things are getting to the pictures are getting nice enough that you can't tell what scale they are anymore. You used to be able to say, oh, this is HO scale or etc. and all that. Hello, Rick. Thank you for coming in. Who's on? Hey, Rick. Who's on deck for Sidetrack Sunday? Would that be you for tonight? Nah. I actually completely lost. It's one of those things that I should have a 3x5 car with who's on deck and all that, because of I like John, but he has a tendency to not update his stuff that says who's doing what, where, and etc. Here's another traction layout, and this is actually very similar to what a prototype would be. You can barely see where the overhead is because it sort of blends in with the tracks and all that. Of course, looking at how big this car is and how small the road is in the background, can it actually make that turn? But at least he's not stopping on the tracks. Apparently it's a home-built 8-drive wheel mechanism. Interesting. But I noticed that it not only has the pantograph, but it also has a pole, which you can barely see also because it's lined up right with that. And here's another one where it's the smoke looks realistic, but at the same time you sort of have to go, wait a minute, you can't scale down molecules, so this is obviously photoshopped in. Yeah, it's one of those things of, to me, it's you look at you can tell if it's photoshopped by how the smoke is, because even if they were using actual smoke and all that, you can tell that it's scaled down. But if it's not scaled down, now I'm not quite sure what those are, but it looks like it's somebody's like photobombing the scene, or it's a possible glitch. I don't know. Yeah, so you got the Buena Vista there, and it's like it looks like a flag, but it looks way out of place. And then this one, ooh, here's a nice close up. Yeah, it looks like they barely added some smoke there. The only thing I think that's missing is the slight distortion of the heat going around it. But yeah, I'm not quite sure why the guy is wearing a welding helmet that far out. But sometimes, sometimes somebody has stories, sometimes somebody does not. Oh, and this is O scale. That's another thing is that sometimes, if you know your figurines, you can go, oh, this is, this manufacturer meant a figurine. But all right, well, now we got some narrow gauge. All right, Now the thing is that usually when you see something, there's definitely a hello there, Russ and Rockin' O Railroad. Thank you for coming in. And Jerry is back. Thank you for coming back. But yeah, usually, you can usually tell what era things are. But the thing is, you got all this old equipment, the old building, and all that, which suggests that might be turn early 20s and all that. But then you're looking at the people and how they're dressed, and to me, that suggests 70s. People are still wearing ties and stuff like that here. But t-shirts are a possibility, and blue jeans. So, all right. And it also shows when the national convention is going to be in Long Beach, California, in August. Actually, I'm not. It's one of those things I know I'm trying to aim for this, not for the calendar itself. But now we got Beaver Junction. Yeah, you can also tell the age by the vehicles that are in there. Now for me personally, there's sometimes you get extreme. Sometimes you get extremes. Sometimes you get the where there's no weathering at all. Everything looks, just built and all that. And then there's the opposite where they keep on adding so much grime and all that. It looks like everything's a derelict, which I lean more towards a slightly, I would aim for something that's slightly weathered. Something that someone would turn around and, they would take a pride in their equipment and, keep it all nice and clean and all that. But at the same time, rarely I've actually seen even things that are, even my new car has a lot of dust on it right now. So, and here we go with another one. Bangor Lumber Company. Oh, this is from Lincolnshire, United Kingdom. So this is across the pond. Yeah, see how this one's just like, it's not as shiny as I'm assuming, yeah, F7s. Not as shiny as the F units, but I would say, I would aim for that kind of weathering with some, maybe one or two that would be look newer, and maybe one or two that would look more derelict. But I would aim for something that's, it looks like it's been used, not washed and all that, but not abused. But that's just my thought on the process. All right. Then this is the one that's in the front. And this is HO scale. And this has one liner talking about the small scene here. And here's another one where it's a steam engine, and obviously this is all photoshopped in. But it's not, you don't get so many snow scenes. And looks like, there's snow on the ground, but there's not snow on the trees, so must be a it says wintry day, but I would lean towards this be sort of an early winter, because normally snow sticks to trees. And this is December. This is the one that you would not normally see. This is closer to my era. I have to say at least the 20s, because Model A's were I think 1920 something, if I'm remembering correctly. But since I do 1875, it's still way too early. But they also have the different photo contributors. I like this information not submitted. Well, it says fall meet, so that might be a reason why they don't say the state and the scales, because it's not that it wasn't submitted, it's just that it's multiples of. But so, all right. I guess these are all, because I'm looking at these, they're only about 13 photos, and it's like there's more than 13 people here. So I'm assuming these are all the ones that actually said, hey, we have a photo. Would you like to use it? And so a lot of these, I would assume, are rejected then. But that's okay. I mean, it's one of those things that is showing that people are submitting. I'm actually surprised it's that small of a list, but that's the way it is. It's one of those things I'm not quite sure where to put this, but hopefully in a better spot than I did this year's calendar, which for a long time was sort of stuffed off the side here. But well, one thing I got to figure out is how to do editing on this one. But all right, now for the main event. Well, right now, Jerry, it was basically to show off the calendar that I got recently. But for the main event that I'm planning on, is, as long as I don't knock everything over, is to finish off the 3 switches that I have for this section of the layout. And since I am not quite sure how this is going to work out, mainly because the camera is not really set up for this. But I decided to turn around and finish off the switches before continuing on the layout, or continuing on the diorama. So, all right, now I think the first easy thing to do is to connect wires for power. One thing I did not realize this. Okay, so we will use continue to use orange for this side. Now on these I wound up using tape for one side. Unfortunately, I don't have my soldering iron set up, so I'm going to have to rely strictly on electrical, mechanical connections. And if it causes problems, you can easily go back in and just resolder everything. Do that. Come here, do this. That's one advantage of having a small layout like this. I can actually turn around and flip it over. Okay, this one. Now I only have basically 2 feeders and everything. One, because this is such a small layout that, to me, having having a lot of feeders probably don't make as much sense, since I have everything. Since I do have all the rail joiners soldered, so I'm going on that where I don't need to go nuts on having all the different feeders. One thing I just happened to realize that I should do is get some screws to put that in there so that does not come out. That was the whole reason why I did this. Well, what this is a 12-volt extension cord where I chopped off the ends, I'm using the other end as the power supply, or for the input. So the idea is basically take this and then use this as a plug. And I got them set up as two because each section has its own socket, basically. So, all right. Got the electrical stuff done. Onto switches. Is this view okay for everyone? Oh, Rail Iris is enjoying adult liquid libations. Oh, did you bring enough for everybody? Let's see. Looks like I possibly missed some of the. I think I missed Rick's answer. So I asked who was on. Oh, Rick did not answer me back. I thought I said it loud enough so you can. Hear, but I just wanted to know who was on Sidetrack Sunday tonight. And he would be one to know, theoretically. He might not know. He might know if it's him or not, but all right. Now, probably the first important thing to do, which is a little on the boring side, admittedly, is to turn around and cut these so they're like the others that I have. Let's see. Now to get saws. Saws. I have saws. Now, the thing is with these doorknobs is that they are they are hardwood, so they are a little bit hard to cut, but they are about this wide. Or I should say this wide. Slightly, the others are slightly narrower. But the thick, it's basically you want to be able to get your fingertips around this. So it's not necessarily precise. Also go along with the grain. Oh, okay. The Rockford Depot. All right. Well, I might, if I remember, I'll double check with that. All right, that's that side. Flip this over, sort of. Actually, let's make this a little bit less annoying. Take the take this off that was holding in position. And there we go. Here's what it looks like without this thing hanging off. It's a little bit easier to, it's a lot easier to hold up because you don't have the weight on the you don't have the weight on the top doing its thing. All right. Now the smart thing to do is to cut the doorknobs before you glued them on. But when I put everything together, I didn't realize that I needed, be able to have finger grabs on it. And of course, there's something in my eye while I'm trying to do this. So I gotta take off the glasses so I can get rid of that. All right, so I got that. Got that. So now it's just keep on cutting until we get through. Unlike balsa or other normal construction things that I would use, is a lot softer than this. So even though it looks like it's like, gee, this is a very, dull blade, it's actually not. It's just that it's going through very, very tough wood. And I just happen to realize I'm missing my clock. Where's the clock I normally have to keep track of time? Yeah, I'm still not back to where I was before the changeover. So, usually I can hear the slight tick, tick, tick. So it is not within range. All right, there it is. I knew it was nearby. I wound up getting this free little quartz timer and all that to keep, it's basically, I have it off, sort of off screen to sort of make me realize that, oh, okay, it's getting close to time and all that. So got to find a new spot for it. All right, let's go this direction. This morning I was on Andy's channel this morning, Hot Dog Pilot, and I'm not sure if I was having issues or he was having issues, but things weren't going as smoothly. It wasn't keeping up with my computer. For some reason, couldn't keep up with doing live stuff. I'm leaning towards it was problems on his end, mainly because other people were saying that they were having problems. Yeah, I should have done this beforehand. Let's go. have a pair of larger pliers. Small pliers. You need a pair of larger ones to hold on to this. And of course, they're not within arm's reach. Or within sight either. But, oh well. Let's go this direction. Because yeah, it's one of those things of with this type of saw, you run out of room. Alright, let's try this. Ta-da! All right, there's one half. But I might have to put this on the. Yeah, it's one of those things of. It's more for operation than anything. But all right, now let's do this side. Oh, that's not good, rail artist. Now, which saw are you talking about? Are you talking about this style or this style? I'm not sure what the different styles is, but this is very similar to a hacksaw. That's how the blades are connected, where this is set up this way. So, was it the hacksaw style blade, or the non-hacksaw? I almost want to say this, even the blade, I think, is very hacksawish because of the teeth sort of do a wave, whereas these teeth are completely straight. Now let's go this direction. Since I took so much time with the calendar. This might have to spill over until next week or the next video. Because I'm not sure what the Thanksgiving weekend is going to be doing. There are plans for me to go to the southwest of Boston, meet up with my sister and brother-in-law. So I am assuming at least one night of overnightness. All right, good night, Jerry. Thank you for stopping in. You want to see at least get one switch in tonight. All right, there we go. Let's see, we need more sanding. All right, now it says let's get one of these at least installed so people will know what's going on. So let's bring this back in the frame. Now, one thing, of course, now I need. Sorry about that for those who are wearing earphones. But eagle eye viewers will notice that the holes are on the outside, are also on the inside. It's because these wound up being drilled into the wrong space. I forgot exactly what it was. But what did I forget? All right, we'll do this one. This one, the thing is actually through. Yeah, it's actually, if you look at it, it's about a ½ inch off. So, and upon looking at this is also a ½ inch off. Boy, did I screw this one up. Yeah, that right there is the correct. So all the massive noise next to the microphone. Yeah, I'm not sure why I did what I did there. Well, I'm going to have to figure that out offline. But, yeah, the idea is, have this go in the small little hole on the throw bar, go that way, and then have this go through here and be able to without the other on there. Basically, you have a positive snap back and forth. But it's one of those things of measure once, cut twice. That's what I wound up doing instead of measuring twice and cutting once. Wait a second, that's probably what I did, because the original hole lines up with the hole, but not the hole in this. So that's why I offset it that way. But it looks like I've offset it too much because it's not even touching. So it should be there. And that's going to require me to grab other tools, which I do not have in front of me. And plus, I do believe it is starting to get close, according to my watch or clock. It is time to start shutting things down, so we'll be ready for Sidetrack Sunday, who right now I don't know who it is. Well, thank you, Randall. Oh, that's a little annoying. Apparently the chat disconnected on me. But, all right. Well, thank you, Randall. I didn't see you sneak in. All right, let's switch it back to this camera. All right, well, things didn't go quite as smoothly as I was planning on. But it looks like the camera was set up where you had a good view of what I was doing. But yeah, I got to actually turn around and fix all the things and all that to turn around and do it correctly. One of the things I am planning on doing is this layout is standard gauge, but I am planning on doing this in the broad gauge also. Might have to turn around and change the layout a little bit, because even though the tracks are wider, so that means the switches are going to be longer. So we'll find out when that gets there. But right now, I'm just going to keep plugging along with this layout. And then since I have pretty much, right now I have only standard gauge equipment. So it's one of those things of, that's why I'm doing the dioramas and the broad gauge, just to turn around and learn on how to do that. Thank you, Dwight from Curly Express. I hope that I'm entertaining. I think at least I'm entertaining to people who are on here, because you keep on coming back every week. Pretty much a lot of you, the ones who have a blue wrench, one I either knew before I started the stream, or when I see your name come up a lot, then I turn around and give you a blue wrench. So if Eagle Creek Railroad keeps on coming week after week, eventually I'll go, hey, he should have a blue wrench. Basically what, I know, like Anthony Dodge, it's like as soon as he sees somebody that doesn't have a blue wrench, he'll make them a moderator. it's one of those things of I look at it this way. It's like, if someone's just popping in just to see what everything's about, if they're only going to be there one time, in my opinion, they shouldn't be a moderator. All right. Well, thank you, Rail Artist. I know I'm definitely not, like the professionals that are out there with all the lighting, the fancy audio equipment, and all that fun stuff. This is, I don't want to say bare bones, but at the same time, it's not necessarily top of the line either. I mean, I have 3 monitors, and one of them is a cathode ray tube VGA unit, and that's where I got the, basically the task manager over here running away, and right now it looks like one of the red gun is starting to malfunction and all that. So every now and then it's like instead of showing, hey, this is have very high power uses and all that in black lettering with red, it's completely black because there's no red being shown. So it's one of those things that going like, all right, I think I need a in mode. Yeah. Well, originally when I started the Streamreel Artist, I was thinking of, I was unemployed, do what everybody else is doing and try to make a channel that would be interesting and people would have on all that. Then I would say less than a month later, I got employed, so I stopped mild railroading bad fingers. Yeah, it looks like you hit the semicolon instead of the L. But but then when I got employed, it's sort of like it's become more of a therapy session for me. I think I'd still be doing this if no one showed up. And there has been times that it's like, no one literally has shown up. That was early on. Now it's one of those things of, I think there's I want to say a consistent 4 or 5 people. I mean, I haven't really counted, but it's really appreciated that people want to see me babble on and all that, because I've always been sort of more. I wouldn't say I'm not really an outgoing person, and especially wound up moving here to Vermont just when the pandemic hit. I haven't really been able to. Thank you, Russ. Yeah, it's like constantly putting out, and from what I understand, a lot of channels usually. I remember someone saying that even the most successful YouTube channels have a lifespan about 5 years. So it's one of those things of, yeah, understood. Understood, Rail Artist. I'm assuming your wife is a lot cuter than I am. But yeah, right now it's just me, myself, and I. So I mean, doing this is a little bit. I want to say a little bit therapeutic, and also, to be honest, if I wasn't doing these YouTube videos, I would not have gotten as far as I have with. I never would have done the dioramas. There's buildings I wound up building buildings and painting buildings that would, since I'm not doing it, since I'm doing it, yeah. Well, I also am assuming that, Rail Artist. Yeah. it's one of those things I never found that. And but there's times that it does get lonely and all that, but also when I'm absolutely sick and all that, I don't have anyone poking at me going, hey, you don't look too good. And vice versa. But it is what it is. Yeah, that's what they say. But the way I look at it, it should be mutual. I've come to the conclusion that if I was to find somebody, I wouldn't know what to do because I've been single for so long. But also at the same time, I know what not to do because there's times I'm just amazing. It's like, why is somebody with somebody that's that abusive, rude? It's like the whole entire thing, and then it's like, I would never do that, but I don't know. But I would have to say, for those who are watching this live and from the United States, I hope you have a very good Thanksgiving. If not, if you're watching us at a different time or from a different country, have a nice day anyway. So, well, the way I look at it is that I believe that the world needs more love. So find your passion, add some silliness to it, and spread it around. Bye, everybody.